Uh,
That's awesome.
anyway. So I'm just going to assume this is going to be shown to all the medical students. I just figured Dr. Matisse would do that for me. So I've been working on this for a really, really long time. Yeah. Well, I was supposed to do it on the cruise, and my friends just gave me horrible ideas, and it never worked out that way. They had a couple ideas for some titles. Everyone Hates Nate. How Not to Get Fired in Residency. Yeah, so... I basically just sat down last night and put all my thoughts into this paper right here. And that's my last lecture. So it's raw. It's live. Coming at you. So I might do a little more reading than Morgan did, since he's an awesome speaker. I'm not wise. I don't have 12 kids. I don't have a lot of stuff to teach you guys. But I can only do what I can do. So my last lecture. It's crazy. I made it. We all made it. It's not really just about me, though. It's about all of us. It's more about all of us than me, I think, because we're saying goodbye to each other, and that's what's sad about it. Because what's really changed from my first lecture, anaphylaxis, and my third lecture, and my fifth lecture. Yeah, I learned a ton of emergency medicine, and I've seen a ton of patients. But I think the biggest difference is that I became part of a family here with you guys. And although I will keep in touch with all of you, it'll never be the same as it is right now. You're all my best friends, my family, and I would do anything for you anytime. And I know you guys would do the same for me. No one can understand our bond that we have except for us, and that's what's going to be difficult. There'll be no one to distract me from doing my charting, no one to brag about my clinical wins, no one to make me feel better when I have losses or mistakes. It'll just be me going to work, seeing patients, and going home. And I think it's going to be really tough. I think residency is about us, and when you get out, you have to find motivation just to go to work. And lecturing to you guys about this is hard. We all know that I don't really have this whole life thing figured out very well yet. And I think a lot of you, probably most of you, are way close to figuring it out than me. So what am I going to do to stay motivated, to just be excited about going to work as I do now, where I work with all my best friends and I do what I love? I'll have to figure it out. I think residency is about us, and I guess when we get out, we have to make it about helping our patients. Be excited about having the opportunity to make someone's life a little better, and knowing you worked hard, able to do so. But I think it's going to be lonely out there, and I'm going to miss you guys a ton. These last 4 years have been tough, scary. Oh, wait, I was supposed to do slides. These are my friends. Yay! We've had a lot of fun times together, guys. And there's innumerous pictures, but I wanted to make it a little visual. Oh no. These last 4 years have been tough, scary, and exciting. I can't forget my first day. I was sitting in the emergency department, and I was working with Jack and Dr. Matisse, and they decided it'd be a good idea to go get some breakfast and leave me in the emergency department all alone. And a patient rolls in by EMS, and they are hypotensive, in AFib with a heart rate of 190, and they're literally, I think they're dying right now. And the nurses on my first day are asking me if we could give something. I have no idea what I could give. I'm just running around looking for them. I run across the corner, and all of a sudden they stroll back with their breakfast in hand, like all happy. And I'm freaking out, sweating. And thank God Dr. Matisse got back there before I could actually give something. So back then I was scared to death of those patients. And now these sick patients are my favorite ones. And I can't wait for them to come in. I'm still terrified of things going horribly wrong. But I know we've all received great training, and we just have to, we have the ability to take care of these patients. And that feels really great now. And it's exciting. So this is my last lecture. And I guess it's time to share with you guys how I got here. I was born in Miami into an amazing family, apparently in the black and white days. There's my dad, my mom, and my two sisters, and me hanging in my suspenders. I'm not sure why it's black and white, but so I have two sisters. I'm the middle child. When I was about 11, my parents split, and I mostly grew up with my mom and my sisters. And the four of us are amazingly close. We spend most of our free time together. I have a niece and nephew from my older sister who I love to death. Let's see, I have pictures. Yeah, see, my sisters and my mom and me. There's my nephew and niece. Sundays, when everyone's free, we all just hang together at my mom's. And that's probably my favorite thing to do in the world. My sisters are my best friends, and my mom is the leader of the pack. She has held us together during rough times, and she pushed us to be the best we can be. So there's me and my little sister. And this is my sister's wedding. I got to be the officiator at my little sister's wedding, which was fun, in Costa Rica. There's the fam, my nephew and niece, and my big sis. And I had to throw in some pictures of I've had some crazy hair over my lifetime, and I thought I did a pretty good job of hiding it from you guys until now, and this is the problem with going first with this last lecture, is because I have the longest time for you to rub everything into my face. But, so yeah, that's my hair. And my nephew, and we were hanging. And then that's after I take a shower. Yeah. I eventually cut it. And just me and my nephew and niece, and me and my mom flying in a helicopter. Some more hair. And then there's me and my dad. I wish I could see what comes next, because I can't. Oh, and my dog. I love my dog. I had to put her in. Anyway. So, big part of my life was always playing basketball. I was the superstar in my small little Christian private school. I know it's weird, but I'll explain some other time. I won the MVP as a 6th grader on the 7th and 8th grade team, and I was the only 6th grader on the team, so it's big time for me. But my dream was always to play for Coach K at Duke in college, and all night and day, all I did is think, practice, and play basketball, and that was my dream. That's what I wanted to do. And I was going to do whatever it took to play for Duke. And I worked as hard as I knew how to work at it, and I was pushed by my family, and I thought I was, pretty great in my little private school. Then my parents split, and I went to a public school. It's definitely one of the worst areas in Palm Beach, for whatever that's worth. I know it's not the ghettos in New Jersey, but it's actually right down the street from Columbia or West Palm and St. Mary's. And I made the team, and I was one of 3 white guys on the team, probably the only one under 6'4". And it was fun. I definitely wasn't the superstar anymore, but I did stick out. They'd have these buyout games where everybody could. It was a huge school, probably 2,000-3,000 kids in my middle school, and you could pay to go see the game and get out of class. And the whole gym is packed. And if I scored a point, it was the craziest thing you've ever seen. Just wild, everybody going insane. So it was fun. I was good, but I was no longer the superstar that I was before. I kept playing all throughout middle school and high school, and it was hard to give up my dream of playing for Coach K at Duke, but I eventually had to. I still pushed myself to be the best I could, and that took over the majority of my life. And I think that basketball really helped me through this residency, and actually through becoming an ER doctor. I learned to push through adversity, that when everything tells you you have given enough to what you're doing, that you still have way more to give. It's taught me to put myself in stressful, uncomfortable situations. Going into the gym as the small white kid that knew no one. Thank you. Reminds me of going to pick up the next really sick patient that scares the crap out of you. You know it's going to be scary, but you know, and really only you know, that you have the ability in the world to compete, or in our case now, to care for that patient. So, yeah, I'm not good at combining these. So there's Coach K, and that's pretty ironic that we watched the video on him the other day, because that was the time period when I was growing up and was really obsessed. So I have my basketball highlight video. I thought you guys might want to see it. It's really I feel like the Napoleon Dynamite football guy. But every opportunity I can, I show it to people, because that's all I got. So, and perfect. Weller's here for it. You might want to try this. Again, I had some crazy hair. So that was my first dream. My second dream was to become a rock star. That didn't go so well either. But me and my best friends, we had a band. We did attract some of the ladies over to my mom's garage to hear us play, but not the stadiums full that I was hoping for. So I eventually had to give up that dream too, even though we looked pretty cool. I went to high school where all I really cared about was playing basketball. I was a little jerk, got poor grades, got kicked out of my classes all the time. I was the kid in the class when the teacher would get mad and say, "If you don't want to be here, just leave." And of course, I had to raise my hand and say, "And we won't get in trouble," and I'd get kicked out. I got away with most everything, though, because all my disciplinarians were my coaches, and I never got into too much trouble. But if you were to tell pretty much any of my teachers in high school that I'm about to become an emergency medicine doctor, they would probably drop dead of a heart attack right there. And probably quit. Yeah. I even got kicked out of the program I was in. I had to switch schools my senior year of high school. But again, I was the white kid who could play basketball, so I fit right in. My letter offering me a basketball scholarship, though, to Duke must have gotten lost in the mail or something. I never got it. So I ended up going to FSU. Let's see, I have some pictures. Oh, so I had a bunch of passions in high school. I got to mess around all the time. I surfed. I even did this thing. Yeah. Oh, that's college. So, so I went to FSU, and I had a great time in college. Here's some pictures of me having a great time. So that's my actual hair. That's not my friend's. But yeah, I did have dreadlocks. I somehow hid that from Dr. Matisse all these years. He can't do anything about it now. There they are. They're just forming there. Yep. It looks like it's dreadlocks. They're just in the back. Yeah, but so I had to basically face, though, in college that the dreams I always thought I was gonna have were not gonna come true. And I guess I needed to do well in school because I had no other option but to become successful. All my friends were at home having a great time, making money, being bartenders or lifeguards, and I was at school studying. So if I was going to be there, I decided I was going to do the best I could, and I did. I got really good grades, and I worked my butt off. But becoming a doctor was still not on my mind at this time at all. I don't know if you guys have figured it out, but I'm really bad at making my own life personal decisions. It got to the point where I took all the classes I could, and they wouldn't let me register for any more classes until I picked a major. So I picked history. I picked anything I could just to keep in school and take classes. But I ended up doing pre-med and medicine, and I worked my butt off, and I did well at it. And now it was time to get serious and grow up a little bit. And I was applying for med school. So one day, after a few beverages, I told my friends and my sister, it's time to cut off my hair, and I gotta grow up. So there they are, cutting off my hair. My sister tried to wear it afterwards, and so did my friend. I think they're still at my mom's house somewhere. Actually, I brought them in for you guys. Yeah. Oh, I got. So I got serious. I cut my hair off. I continued to work really hard, and now I'm here and becoming an emergency medicine doctor, and I passed my boards. So residency has gone by really fast. Sometimes I think too fast. I'm still terrified, just a little less than I used to be. I've had plenty of ups and downs, wins and losses, successes and failures. I learned so much about people. I think what I learned most at a residency is about people. We see so many people every day, every shift, and they're all different. And they're all looking for us to help them. And we have the opportunity to be caring, understanding, and helpful. And buried underneath all the new research, the medicine, the metrics, and all the other stuff we have to remember, we're just here to help people that need us, even if some of them make it more difficult than others to help them. All this work that we do to be better physicians isn't for us. It's for our patients because they count on us. I love all you guys and know we'll always be connected in a special, unique way. And if I could ever do anything for you guys, please let me know. I do want to give a couple special words to my class, Jack, Jeannie, and Dave. So this comes in. I'm so proud of us. I love you guys. I remember meeting on our first day and going to lunch all together, having no clue what we were getting ourselves into. But we all stuck together, and now you guys are my best friends. I know you three will be amazing physicians and people. You inspire me to be better, and I couldn't have asked for a better three people to share this experience with. You were definitely there when I needed you, and I hope I'm always there for you guys when you need me. We have a couple of pictures, I believe. Yeah. Oh. This is me and Jack at his wedding doing the Matisse symbol. Yeah. Yep. We celebrated. Jack got roses for running a race. Not sure. And me and Dave looking good. So to all our attendings, especially our core attendings, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys give up so much to make us better, and that is amazing. Because of you guys, it inspires me to push harder and be better. Thank for everything you do for us. You have turned this little residency program in the best in the country. Dr. Mathai, I'll always miss our catty arguments. And that we always just hug and make up at the end. You have always been one of my biggest supporters, and I thank you so much for that. Dr. Fowles, it's been so much fun watching you this year become an amazing attending, and really cemented in my mind how great our residency really is. I feel like we grew up together, and you were like my big sister that I inspire to be like. Dr. Morris, you are just freaking awesome. There's not enough thank yous for everything you have brought to our residency. You always give me the most honest advice, and are always ready to go to battle for and with me and all of us. All our attendings are great, but you guys surpass everything I could have ever wanted from my mentors, and I hope I can make you proud to say I was trained by you. Dr. Matisse. Nope. That's not him. Oh, that's closer. There we go. Dr. Matisse, I didn't ever think I would accomplish my dream. And it's true I didn't play basketball for Duke. But you have given me more than I ever knew I wanted or needed. You became my Coach K. You have been there as my mentor, my father figure, and my best friend for these past 4 years. You give everything you have to not only me, but this entire residency every single day. You're the best leader I could have ever asked for. I can only hope someday to be half the person and half the physician you are. You are selfless with not only your time, but all your emotions as well. I know that no one is a bigger fan, but also a bigger critic of me than you, and only because you care so much. I'll miss our late night talks about life, love, medicine, and how to be happy. I know it doesn't seem like I'm always listening, but your words echo deep in my thoughts all the time, almost haunting me. You have given me everything you can try to help me become a better person and the best physician I can be. You pushed me further and harder than I thought I could be pushed, but with a big bear hug along the whole way. I hope I can make you proud of me one day, not just in my work as a physician, but also in my everyday life. You always want us to self-scout, and I think about it a lot and know I can do better at everything. I feel like I'm in a good position to make positive changes in my life, and I will. I love you, Dr. Matisse. Thank you for everything. Any questions?
Take a few minutes break and then we'll come back. That was quick. Thank you very much. No idea. Not a dry eye. Thank you.